Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Mani Sudarshanam. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Mani Sudarshanam. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Sri Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Sri Radhe Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Sri Radhe Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Gauranitai ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna, welcome devotees. So today we are going to discuss 48 number shloka of 12th chapter of 4th canto. So Dhruva Maharaj story continues. So we are going to discuss same thing as Dhruva Maharaj story, but we are going to discuss different shloka, 48 number shloka. So shortly we'll start. I'm just projecting the shloka on the screen for your preference. I think it came. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire Nashtaprayashu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Srigaram Sriyata Padakamalam Srigaram Vaishnavansya Srirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Pariyana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhavitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinu Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Asadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. I'll read the shloka and translation. Prayataha kirtayat prataha samayavayet dvijanmanam sayam cha punya shlokasya dhruvasya charitam mahat. Prayataha with a great care. Kirtayet, one should chant. Prataha in the morning. Samavaye in the association. Dvijanmanam of the twice born. Sayam in the evening. Cha also. Punya shlokasya of sacred renown. Dhruvasya of Dhruva. Charitam character. Mahat great. Translation. The great sage Maitreya recommended one should chant of the character and activities of Dhruva Maharaj both in the morning and in the evening with a great attention and care in the society of Brahmanas or other twice born persons. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said that only in the association of devotees can one understand the importance of character and pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotees. In this verse, it is especially recommended that Dhruva Maharaj's character be discussed in the society of the twice born, which refers to the qualified Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. One should especially seek the society of Brahmanas who are elevated to the position of Vaishnavas. Thus, discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes the character and pastimes of devotees and the Lord, is very quickly effective. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been organized for this purpose. In every center of the society, not only in the morning, evening, or noon, but practically 24 hours a day, there is a continuous devotional service going on. Anyone who comes in contact with society automatically becomes a devotee. We have actual experience that many karmis and others comes to the society and find very pleasing and peaceful atmosphere in the temples of ISKCON. In this verse, the word Dvijanmanam means of the twice born. Anyone can join the International Society of Krishna Consciousness and be initiated to become twice born. As recommended by Sanatana Goswami, by the process of initiation and authorized training, any man can become twice born. The first birth is made possible by the parents, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual father and Vedic knowledge. Unless one is twice born, one cannot understand the transcendental characteristics of the Lord and his devotees. Study of Vedas is therefore forbidden for Kshudras. Simply by academic qualification, a Kshudra cannot understand the transcendental science. At the present moment, throughout the entire world, the educational system is geared to produce Kshudras. A big technologist is no more than a big Kshudra. Kalau Shudra Sambhava. In the age of Kali, everyone is Shudra. Because the whole population of the world consists of Shudras, there is a decline of spiritual knowledge and people are unhappy. The Krishna conscious movement has been started especially to create qualified Brahmanas to broadcast spiritual knowledge all over the world, or thus people may become very happy. It's the end of purport by Srila Prabhupada. प्रयतः कीर्तयत् प्रातः समवाये द्विजन्मनां सायं च पुण्यश्लोकस्य ध्रुवस्य चरितं महत्. The great sage Maitreya recommended one should chant of the character and activities of Dhruva Maharaj both in the morning and in the evening with a great attention and care in the society of Brahmanas and other twice born persons. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so I am taking out the shloka now and we can start discussion. नमो विष्णुपदाय पृष्ठप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपापदायिने गौरकतादामदाय नग्रग्राम तारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय पृष्ठप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नामस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. Welcome devotees once again and thanks for your time in the morning. We are going to discuss, as I told, 48 number shloka. Dhruva Maharaj story continues. Dhruva Maharaj, if you recall, we have been discussing Dhruva Maharaj story for some months, couple of months. Dhruva Maharaj did a lot of very severe tapasya, austerity, and got the kingdom he wanted. He started with desire of getting kingdom, which is apparently material desire, which for Kshatriyas or for any human being is not very surprising because we are all driven by material desires. So nothing surprising. He was a boy, small boy, 5-year boy, Kshatriya, more so king, and he was seeing some injustice. So he wanted to do the justice. It's not that he wanted just kingdom just for out of very greed or some expansion mindset. He wanted the kingdom back, which he was desiring to get. So Kshatriya spirit is that, nothing wrong in that. Nevertheless, it can be called as always a material sort of desire because in material world this keeps happening. There will be some injustice, there will be some insult, there will be some fighting, there will be some push and pull. That's the way material world is made. And then whatever we desire, even though it is justified or unjustified, is ultimately material desire because whatever Lord gives, we should be satisfied. But nevertheless, Dhruva Maharaj has a very different plan. He was a great devotee of Lord. And there are a lot of pastimes awaiting further. And Lord Krishna sort of inducted all this and things got unfolded where Dhruva Maharaj has went through the austerity. Lord Krishna appeared in front of him. Dhruva Maharaj just forgot whatever he wanted, the kingdom. Just kept on seeing the Lord, his transcendental Divya Swarup, and he said, I don't want anything. I am happy with seeing your face, your pastimes, your root, form, everything. And that's true. And that's what our devotion means. Once you get attracted to Lord, his form, his pastimes, his devotees, his places of pastimes, our material desires, attachment to material world comes down. Hence, we should keep ourselves under the shelter of devotion of the Lord. Dhruva Maharaj did exactly same thing, proved by his example that this is the way it should be done. Of course, it did not happen only by the effort of Dhruva Maharaj. It happened with the blessings of Narada Muni, who is happened to be his spiritual master. So again, without spiritual master's blessings, mercy, and of course Lord's mercy, cannot get into devotional service. So Narada Muni enlightened Dhruva Maharaj very. He uh, addressed, or he handled Dhruva Maharaj being a boy very tacitly, and ultimately pushed him into devotional service. Lot of knowledge he gave, and Dhruva Maharaj did tapasya, and then Lord gave him the kingdom which he wanted. Not only that, after the life, Dhruva Maharaj was awarded the permanent Dhruva planet world, where he is permanently residing, which is not in material world. It is in the spiritual, between on the border of spiritual and material world, which does basically it's in spiritual world, and which will be never annihilated. And he happily stays there. Now, he got whatever he wanted, but he got millions of times what he wanted. That's the Lord's magnanimity. Lord will give you much more than what we even expect. What may, if we satisfy, please the Lord. Lord can be satisfied only to devotion. So there are many shlokas which tells ki how Lord gets satisfied, how to please the Lord, and any devotee who does. And that's what it happened with Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj continued, of course, in this material world up till he left for the Vaikuntha planets. So there's a description of that incidents also, how Dhruva Maharaj left for the Vaikuntha planet from the Bhattraj Ashram. He was doing, I mean, post, he ruled the kingdom, he made all the citizens very happy. He took care of their material and spiritual progress. And then he left for the forest to do on the post his life, to do the austerities and devotion. And from there, the separate plane, spiritual world plane came, Vishnu Duta's plane came to take him to the spiritual world. And he went back to spiritual world. And that's a very nice incident. And he prays, Dhruva Maharaj prays how he's thankful to Lord, thankful to his gurus. Then he ensured his mother also go to spiritual world. And then these pastimes are being seen by the demigods and the big rishis, munis, and they are praising the demigods. And then once he leave to the Vaikuntha planets, which it's taken by the Vishnu Rutas, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Then Narada Muni is describing these pastimes further. And these are some slokas, last some slokas that Narada Muni is talking about. He's talking about some of the prachetas and some enlightened human beings, about how great is the Dhruva Maharaj, how Dhruva Maharaj executed the devotional service and ultimately achieved the non-destructible position in the world. And this sloka, particular sloka, is actually Narada Muni speaking. And Narada Muni speaking about the greatness of Dhruva Maharaj. And not only that, he's speaking about greatness of understanding the pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj. Means essentially, he's talking about any pure devotee's pastimes. If you discuss, we also get same benefit. So Dhruva Maharaj, so Narad Muni is describing that. So some of the shlokas, I'll just like there are many shlokas, last 3-4 shlokas before this shloka, where Narad Muni explains what are the benefits of describing the shlokas. I'm describing the pastimes, hearing the pastimes attentively, of the Lord's as well as Lord's devotees like Dhruva Maharaj. So, for example, in the shloka 44, 45th shloka, by hearing, Prabhupada writes, Prabhupada translates the shloka. By hearing the narration of Dhruva Maharaj, one can fulfill desires for wealth, reputation, and increased duration of the life. It is so auspicious that one can even go to the heavenly planet or attain Dhruva Loka, which was achieved by Dhruva Maharaj just by hearing about him. The demigods also become pleased because this narration is so glorious and it is so powerful that it can counteract all the results of one's sinful actions. Very clear. If you want desire, if you have desire of wealth, reputation, which is material desire, but still, even they get satisfied. It is so auspicious that you can go to heavenly planets. Again, it's a material desire, but it is better than the lower quality of life. Or you can go to spiritual world like Dhruva Loka or Vaikuntha Loka, which was achieved by Dhruva Maharaj. The essential point here is whatever desires you have got, if they are not sinful, essentially, or let they be pious or transcendental desires, they will be satisfied. Demigods also become pleased because this narration is so glorious. Then, just give me 2 minutes. I'm just projecting these two three shlokas so that you can also read easily, and then we'll close. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Then, shloka number 46. Anyone who hears the narration of Dhruva Maharaj and who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character attains the pure devotional platform and executes pure devotional service. By such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of life. One more benefit. Okay, you may go to heavenly planet, you may achieve wealth, you may achieve reputation. They are all semi-material desires, like a pious people desire. They are not necessarily spiritual, 100% transcendental desires. But some devotees, some living soul might have those desires. But some living souls are very pure and they want to just achieve the pure devotional service of Lord. Even that also can be easily avoided. The shloka says that by repeatedly trying with faith and devotion to understand the pure character and attains pure devotional practice. Means if you have to hear the pastimes of the Dhruva Maharaj like devotees, which includes, of course, pastimes of Lord and devotee. When there is a pastime of devotee, there is a pastime of Lord. And there is a pastime of Lord, there is a pastime of devotee. It's always like that. Because devotees and God, Lord, they are all into pastimes. So, you can attain the pure devotional service by even trying to understand. We may not understand everything. One may not understand everything about the pastime, but even though we try to understand, Prabhupada writes little bit about the devotee, his mood, devotee's mood, the Lord's mood, and we also try to develop that devotee's mood, understand why this devotee behaved like this, why Lord behaved like this, what is Lord trying to demonstrate, understand the principle behind it, mood behind it. It's all about all those devotional mood. We also will get those benefits. So, next shloka says, anyone who hears this narration of Dhruva Maharaj acquires exalted qualities like him. Exalted qualities like him, or anyone who desires greatness, prowess, or influence. Here is a process by which we can acquire them. And thoughtful men who want adoration, here is the proper way. Same thing. We discuss similar thing. If somebody want prowess, influence, greatness, like Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was transcendental. He was transcendently situated as a devotional devotee, devotee and in the devotional service. But of course, he being a king, he had a power, he had influence, he had greatness, he had a he was a very sure rivalry. You also get that. I mean, the shloka says, one who follows Dhruva Maharaj, we get that. Like nowadays, we follow somebody, we follow on Facebook, we follow somebody on Instagram, we follow somebody on in LinkedIn, we follow each other. So, of course, this is all virtual. So, follow means you are trying to understand what he is doing, what is his activities, and you are supporting or you are commenting on it like that. I mean, it's like a. So, if you also follow Dhruv Maharaj, of course, here it's not like Facebook follow. It is just that's more of a formality. But here, follow means real follow. Follow the principle, follow the footsteps of Dhruv Maharaj. Following the footsteps means what? Whatever Dhruv Maharaj did, we should have that mood at least. We cannot do everything. Whatever austerity Dhruva Maharaj did, it may not be possible for us, but at least we should do some austerity recommended by Shastras. What was the mood of Dhruva Maharaj? Yes, initially it was material desire, but then he went into completely devotional mode. We should actually follow same thing in the sense that we also should try to develop the devotional mode. In this way, we can get a benefit of that mood of developing the pure devotional service to the Lord. That is what follow. Follow means what I explained is the mood we have to follow. We have to do the efforts. We should not imitate, but we should follow. Next shloka says, the great sage Maitreya recommended one should chant of the character and activities of Dhruva Maharaj both in the morning and in the evening with a great attention and care in the society of Brahmanas and other twice born persons. This is the today's shloka. So, Dhruva Maharaj, Narad Muni explained this should be done in the morning. Okay, I mean, it's of course we should understand. It's a common sense. When it is recommended in the morning, doesn't mean we should not hear it on the other time of the day. But in the morning, it is preferable because morning we are in mode of goodness and it's very auspicious time. So, and more importantly, you should have austerity of rising up in the morning, discuss, chant the name of the Lord, and discuss those pastimes, and it creates big impact. So, Prabhupada elaborates further. Prabhupada, it is said that only in the association of devotees one can understand the importance of character and pastime supreme personality of Godhead. Now, this is another important point Prabhupada is making. The word here is dvija. Dvi means second, and ja means taking birth. Janma. So dvija means twice born. Twice born means it's not that one born second time. One is biologically one born one time only, but that's a biological birth. Body is awarded to you by your parents, biological parents. That's also very important, of course. It's a process. And we should be thankful to parent for upbringing, of giving us the body, upbringing the body, taking care of the body. But parents also should take care of soul. So the second birth for this actually for the soul means he gets initiated by Brahmanas. He become Brahman. Become initiated means once he achieve at least some level of spiritual understanding in the devotional service, he's initiated, means he is authorized. He has achieved that minimum qualification of understanding the scriptures. Vedas needs qualification to understand, interpret properly. That's why Prabhupada's commentaries are very important. We cannot give our own commentaries, or we cannot start reading anybody's commentary, or we cannot start writing our own commentaries and start understanding the sloka in our own way. No, we cannot do that. Why? Because we are not even perfect Dvijwan, even though we are so-called Brahmanas, even though one is so-called Brahmana. We are not Acharyas, obviously. Prabhupada is Acharya because he is transcendentally, he has understood everything, he was enabled, sent by the Lord. And that commentaries perfectly made so that we get a real meaning. That's what we should do. We should hear from Prabhupada and his devotees, of course, because Guru Parampara doesn't distinguish that way. Whatever Prabhupada did, and if somebody is repeating the same thing, he's actually following the Prabhupada. So for us, it's same thing then. Prabhupada's disciple speaking about Lord and Prabhupada talking about Lord is the same thing because it's the Guru Parampara. The knowledge is coming. But of course, Prabhupada has a unique position of consolidating all this knowledge and putting in a way right in the modern age. And he made it very simple, very in the context of modern world. So we should be thankful to Prabhupada for this. And so when you are hearing the Prabhupada's written purports of the pastimes of the Lord, we're actually in association with Lord. We are in association with Prabhupada himself. And somebody may be reciting what Prabhupada, like in our temple, or Shiksha Gurus are there, they are reciting is we are in the company of this Vaishnava. So we get a benefit of understanding the pastimes of the Guru Maharaj. Because without the devotees' association, we cannot understand the pastimes. This is written here. Prabhupada explains it. One should especially seek the society of Brahmanas who are elevated to the position of Vaishnavas. Brahmanas is one, Vaishnava. Brahmana is a very basic qualification, but Vaishnava is the highest qualification. Brahmana becomes Vaishnava once he develops his devotional service further and devotes his life for Lord's purpose. He surrenders his life to Lord. That is the Vaishnava. And it becomes very effective. Prabhupada writes, we may hear by ourselves, we may read by ourselves, but if it is not really, sort of explained or touched by a devotee, we may not get the essence of that knowledge. It may not be very effective. It may take time. But if you want to perfect knowledge without any adulteration, quickly effective knowledge, we should hear the pastimes of the Lord from the Prabhupada. Prabhupada has given so many lectures, videos are available, audios are available, purport is available, which we are currently doing. So that we are hearing from Prabhupada in that sense. His devotees are speaking in the temple. We should go and hear that. That's also same thing. So this is a way to acquire this knowledge, to make the best use of it for our spiritual growth. Human life is very short, correct? So we should not waste time in mentally speculating or getting here and there, gain some spiritual knowledge here and there, which doesn't come from the parampara. Should always get that knowledge from the authorized representative. Now, Prabhupada also mentions at the end, towards the end, about how ISKCON, Prabhupada founded the ISKCON, International Society of Krishna Consciousness. It's very specific purpose. There are many objectives of ISKCON's formation. Of course, it is not some whimsically created some group or some society, so-called spiritual society. It is coming from authorized parampara, Brahma, Gaudiya, Vaishnava, Parampara. Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnava, Parampara. Brahma, Gaudiya, Madhva Acharya is our Acharya. And it's authorized representation of the Bhakti Parampara. One of the cult, one of the Parampara of the four Vaishnava Parampara. So it is coming from that. So ISKCON is formed exactly to facilitate the Brahmanas creation. Means by training. Creation means not biological creation. But we have got souls who are looking for spiritual knowledge, who are inclined towards spiritual knowledge, who are in Sattva. They need to be systematically trained to become real Dvija, real Brahmana, and then further Vaishnava and Bhakti. That's why Prabhupada founded this ISKCON, which is in continuation of the Parampara, to facilitate the Brahmana's creation. How Prabhupada himself gave the literature. Perfect, authentic representation of the literature, authenticate meaning of Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and many books related to devotion, and even philosophical lot of books. So he made the knowledge available with a proper his commentary so that people doesn't get distracted by some wrong interpretation. Then he created temple where people can come together, discuss with devotees, hear from devotees, satsang basically. So in a simple way, we say ABCD. A means association, means satsang. Where to do satsang? In the temple. Come to temple, people are coming to temple, Sunday feasts, Saturday programs, festivals, and Bhakti Ruksha courses, all that. They come associate with devotees, hear pastimes of the Lord, philosophy of the Lord. So association is very important. Take a darshan of Lord. You are associating with Lord when you take the darshan. B for books. As I mentioned, Prabhupada has written so many books. Even the commentary on the authentic commentary on the Vedas, Bhagavatam, on all this Vedic literature, and the summary. So we have to keep reading or hearing the Prabhupada books. C for chanting. That's the basis of everything. 2, because even though to appreciate the satsang, to appreciate book reading, we have to purify ourselves slowly. If you keep doing sinful activities, if you keep doing anartha, prohibited activities, wrong activities, and even though you have got some inclination for satsang and literature, spiritual literature, it may not be very effective. It is still effective, but it may not be effective. We have to keep purifying slowly so that our mind gets purified and we understand this literature and get the benefit of satsanga, and so that we grow in the spiritual life. It's a cyclic process. So you have to start chanting. Chanting starts purifying you immediately, even though you do so many offenses. Because then slowly offenses come down. Then your intelligence grows. Mercy comes from Lord when you start chanting. Because you are declaring your commitment to Lord by chanting. That I want your devotional service. Chanting is the first step, and of course it's not only first and last step. I mean, of course it's the first and last step, but it's not that after first step you leave the chanting like you go to second step. No, chanting will continue last also. Chanting is the means and chanting is the objective also. But the point here is we should start chanting, see, and then see the effect, and you will find that we are slowly spiritually growing, and bhakti is getting flowing, that mercy is coming, so that we start understanding, oh, what is devotion means, who is Lord. That realization starts coming. Lord will speak to you from the heart, from your heart. Lord is there as a super. Externally also you will get benefit. You will get that signal, you will get that intervention of Lord or his devotees in your life, so that ultimately you are progressing to spiritual devotional service. So C first and D means diet. Of course, this is one of the pastimes of, this is one of the way to appreciate the Lord, surrender the Lord, and taste the Lord's devotion by honoring the Lord's prasad. And that purifies us. So it's all cyclic process. Chanting, diet, I mean chanting, prasadam will purify you. Then you read more, you associate more, then you get a taste for chanting more, then you taste for prasadam, then you further read, further, yes, and it goes on. And ultimately, effect is developing the devotional service for the Lord. Prabhupada has created this ISKCON for this purpose, nothing more than that. So that people, because nowadays modern world, we have spoiled the whole Vedic culture. It's almost spoiled. People are going to some nasty places here and there, and it's all bad association. Nothing there is. Even our education institutes also, Prabhupada mentions here. Oh, they are creating technologies, so-called scientists, so-called technology, so-called this, that. But most of them are, although they are intellectuals, but essentially, if by the Vedic standard, by the Varnasrama standard, they are Shudras. Prabhupada declares it here. He is Acharya. Why? Because they are not connected to the Vedic science. They are connected to material science. Material science doesn't make you Brahmana, even though it is intellectually very powerful, intellectually. It may help us to make the material life comfortable, but that doesn't make you Brahmana. Brahmana means who knows the Brahma, Brahman. Brahma iti jananti Brahmana. Brahman means super soul or Lord, ultimately. Brahman means knowing about the Lord, his personal form, impersonal form, all that. Paramatma feature. So who knows, who understands Brahmana is the Brahma. All this knowledge is Brahma. So whoever doesn't do this, try to do this Brahmanical knowledge, Vedic knowledge, is Shudra. That's the definition of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Shudra means he doesn't understand all these. But still Shudra is better in that old days because at least he's connected to Varnasrama, although he may not understand this knowledge. But he is made to understand slowly once he purify by association. It's not that Brahman, Shudras were prevented in going to temple or going to satsanga. No, 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 no. Otherwise, Prabhupada would not have opened the door for all of us because we are not, by that Vedic standard, we are not nearby to even forget. I mean, Vaishnava, forget, you are not nearby to Brahmana. You are almost like Shudra. But it's not like that. But the thing is, the Brahmana should take a charge. In real quality Brahmana should take a charge. Vaishnavas should take a charge and start describing this, understanding this knowledge first and describing it, disseminating to the common public, which is full of Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, all sort of people. Irrespective of their Varna, Ashram, or caste or religion, Krishna consciousness is to be given because the whole material world is made to understand Lord in whatever position you are in. And there is no need of qualification this way also to understand or hear the knowledge. There is no need of qualification. You just go and hear it. Prabhupada says here Shudras cannot understand because there is somebody who needs to make it understand. That's the meaning we should take. That doesn't mean we should not go, I'm not allowed what to do, I'll not. No, you should go to temple or whatever, start doing it. But with the help of, under the guidance of Brahmanas, who will understand this knowledge perfectly and give it to you. Somebody has to understand the knowledge and give it to you, then only you will understand. If you are not able to understand independently, that's our situation. So that's how it is. Okay, so Prabhupada has created this from this big ISKCON organization which is growing throughout the world to create a Brahmanas who they will in turn guide so-called Shudras, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas also. The whole Varnasrama system ISKCON is trying to replicate. At least Brahmanas creation is being done and Kshatriyas are there. People who are almost like Brahmanas but who have got administrative mindset, who has got a fighting spirit, who are chivalry in nature, they can take care of the Kshatriyas and try to protect temple, devotees, the whole Vedic culture. That's Kshatriyas. So that also will be there. And there will be some businessmen and Shudras like typical servants or company working people or services. But the whole the purpose here is not to just create some organization, and the whole thing is the purpose is whoever comes there has to be trained in such a way that at least target should be there to make him Brahman. It's not that, oh, you come to temple with some Shudra stamp and then you will be Shudra. No, the whole purpose is to convert all this to Brahmanas. Who will further convert more Brahmanas, more Brahmanas. Go across the world. India has got this unique duty. Prabhupada did that by the order of his spiritual master. That he should go to West, which is full of Shudras, Mlechas, Yavanas, and preach this knowledge. Because India had some Brahminical culture even that time. Now also it's there, but that time it was better, and then it was full-fledged centuries before. Vedic culture is coming from India. It's a Sanatan Dharma, and that's the best form of the spiritual life available, best form of religion. And Prabhupada did that, and by order of his Guru Maharaj, to go and preach it and convert them into Vaishnavas or Brahmanas. That's what it is happening. So many devotees outside, our gurus are outside. They are Western throughout the world. In their earlier life, they were like, may not be spiritually inclined, but then they were by Prabhupada's purity and of course their own, there's a purpose behind it. So their own effort, they have come to the pure Vaishnava, and they are now creating further Vaishnavas by giving Shiksha, Diksha, everything. And that's how the whole ISKCON is spreading the message of the Lord. And so that we get opportunity to discuss the pastimes like Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Narsya Bhagwan, and so many pastimes of devotees. The whole Bhagavatam is full of pastime. So we get platform. Otherwise, here is a platform where people will come together, where they will get association, where they will get this knowledge. Very difficult. So we can understand what is the unique position of Prabhupada in this one. He is founded this one. He is a founder. He is the original Shiksha Guru for all of us. Okay. And of course, then he has created so many further his disciple who are giving Diksha further, and we are getting enlightened. So he's a founder. So you can imagine how Prabhupada has done this beautiful and very, we should be thankful to Prabhupada. Should be eternally grateful to Prabhupada. Otherwise, it would have been difficult. You can see this. Now we read this shloka, we read the meaning given by Prabhupada, we read the purport given by Prabhupada. You imagine only shloka is there, what will understand, what I will also speak, or what any speaker will speak, and what you will also, nothing. You will not understand, neither I will be able to speak. Why? Because Prabhupada has given this purport so perfectly. So without any adulteration, with full devotion in mind. You are not a mental speculator, like so many so-called spiritual. Now, if you see the non-Sampradayik commentaries of Bhagavatam, they'll speak all sort of nonsense. Prabhupada says that. All sort of nonsense. Only mental speculation, no devotion there. Bhagavad Gita also, they are spoiled. So many Bhagavad Gita in the market, full flood. Very few are genuine. And ours is the topmost as it is, maximum soul, because purely coming from Prabhupada, from his pure devotion, no adulteration, no foul intention of getting some name, fame, and some expansion, this thing. No, nothing. Just to propagate Lord's message, Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad Gita. I mean, give the commentary on Bhagavad Gita of the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. So you can understand how this is, and we can discuss the Dhruva Maharaj's pastimes. So, just to summarize, Dhruva Maharaj pastimes are wonderful. Sorry. If devotees like us who are aspiring to be devotionals, to grow in the devotional service, we should understand the pastimes of Lord, and not only that, pastimes of devotees also has to be seen, understood very carefully. with a lot of effort. That's very powerful. And we will get that mood also. See, the whole purpose of giving this pastime, giving this Bhagavata, so much philosophy, discussing the characters of devotees, character of the Lord, pastimes of the Lord, devotees. What is the purpose of that? Obviously, we cannot become like them. We cannot imitate them, but we can follow them. What happens by following them? The whole same mood, same capabilities. When I say same capability, in the sense capability of understanding devotion, realization comes to us. Same good qualities comes to us. That's the same good qualities of devotees will come to us. The whole purpose is we should become like them. Target should be like that. Of course, not imitation, but we should have that mood of devotion. Yes. How Prabhupada did 24 hours a day service. So we should also have that mood of doing at least, try at least. Prabhupada was always chanting, 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 talking about Lord. Service, giving the service to Lord. Nothing for himself. So we should also develop that mood. Yes. And we will get that. To, we will see that that mood is getting developed here if we perfectly follow Prabhupada. That's the whole purpose. So purpose of reciting the literature, reciting the Bhagavatam pastimes, is to get that, understand those pastimes and get that mood so that we also get that qualifications. Dhruva Maharaj was austere, Dhruva Maharaj was devotional, Dhruva Maharaj was very justice oriented. So we'll also get those qualities. We'll also become character, full of character, good character, full of devotion, full of austerity. We'll also become like that. And once we become like that, devotion comes. So this is so following the example. Following the example, not imitating them. Following the example is the essence. And in spiritual, in devotional service, it's all about gaining the knowledge from the parampara, learning by example, seeing the people in front of you to learn. And then it become very easy and very perfect method, effective also to get into that knowledge of devotional service. So, so importance of pastimes of the Dhruva Maharaj is given, Prabhupada, and how ISKCON is facilitating all this requirement for devotees' growth, like to hear about pastime, come together, ABCD we discuss. That we should understand. That's another point. Prabhupada also wrote, yeah, I have founded this con for this. So we should take advantage of that maximum. We should not let the thing loose and we should take advantage, but otherwise it is going to be slowly difficult to follow spiritual life. You know that. Now it is open. Of course, coming 10,000 years, Prabhupada books, Prabhupada's all given by Prabhupada will be there in this way or that way form. But the point here is things are going to be slowly difficult. Of course, it's not going to be difficult for the whoever want to follow it. It will be always accessible. But in general, I am telling external situations are going to be not easy. Take advantage of that, give it to maximum people. Don't keep only with you. Take people to this knowledge. That's the best way to self progress also. Giving this knowledge to others is the best way to self progress. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whoever disseminates my knowledge to others is the most dearest to him. So take this knowledge to others, take the people to ISKCON, take giving them Prabhupada books, devotees books, preach them about, even though we are not perfect, nowhere nearby to perfection, but still we should keep preaching in whatever form it is, whatever way it is, and thus enlighten the people and get self-enlightened. So we should be thankful to Prabhupada for this call. It's not just some ordinary organization. It's a Yuga Dharma like thing. To propagate the chanting. Chanting, Harinam is the Yuga Dharma. Prabhupada through this con is doing that very effectively. So let's take advantage of that. And that's the summary for today. And I will like to stop here. I will request devotees to comment or have any questions in their mind, get clarified, and then we can close the session after this. Hare Krishna. Thanks. So any questions, comments you can put now, or we can. So
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, it's we are in the material life now, actually. So whatever it is material life versus spiritual life. It is both are having the difference of life. It is giving difference from what material life and spiritual life. So how to make completely in the whole life as a spiritual? What should be done by? Only chanting or any other is there?
Prabhu. So good question, Prabhu. First of all, material life and spiritual life is different for us because we have got that concept of material and spiritual because we don't see Lord everywhere. So if you see Lord everywhere, there is no difference in material life and spiritual. Material life, this is also spiritual because it is coming from Lord. So whatever coming from Lord cannot be material. So this material world is, we say material world because we see that material world, this material world for us, for enjoyment of us, and we forget the Lord. That's why the material world becomes material world for us. But for a devotee like Prabhupada, there is no difference in material world and spiritual world. But we should understand there is a difference in terms of technical difference. But once our consciousness becomes Krishna consciousness 100%, material world becomes spiritual world. And that's the key. So till you are in material world, but of course there is a difference in the sense physically, material world is here, spiritual world is there, and there is a characteristic different. But once you change the consciousness, we go to spiritual world. That's the whole purpose. So we should know that this is a material world. We are not going to be here. We don't want to be here because it's full of misery. You go to spiritual world by changing the consciousness. But while doing that, even in material world also, since Lord is there in everywhere. So we should, so in the, if you go to temple, inside a temple, you are in spiritual world, not in material world. Okay, so that way we should see. And you continue doing, don't worry too much on this is spiritual world, this place is spiritual, that spirit is material. No, you just focus on your duties. Uh, Follow the ABCD, what I told, ABCD, association, go to temple, read, Prabhupada book, have prasad, keep chanting, 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 reading. Everything is required. Of course, only chanting will also make it to spiritual world, but the quality of chanting may not be there. So to increase the quality of chanting, we should do the association. We should read Prabhupada book, have prasadam to purify ourselves. Then quality of chanting will increase. But technically speaking, only chanting can take us. But in our case, it may not be easy or it may not be possible also because we don't have that level of chanting, that purity. So it's all together. So we should see chanting is a prime thing. Without chanting, other thing may not be surviving for longer time. Initially, you may read without chant also. You may read Bhagavatam, you will enjoy, you will associate, but after some time, you stop. If chanting is stopped, that's the experience. Prabhupada has said that. So, you should follow Acharya. But of course, so we should do together everything. But chanting is the prime, and other thing also we should do. We should not leave this or that. Everything is given. It's a formula we should follow. So that is one thing. So once you make everything, try to maximize the spiritual activity. That's all. That is your job. That's all. You don't worry about material, spiritual. You do your job. You do your duties. You do your family affairs in the this way, this possible way, without worrying too much on that. But follow the spiritual thing. Then slowly you will realize that, oh, we are inclined, getting inclined to spiritual life. Material life will be there for some time. We can't help. But our consciousness changes. And the way we see the material life changes means we are becoming spiritual. That's our point. Prabhupada never recommended, okay, you leave job and go somewhere. No, of course, there are some devotees who has left his so-called material life job and gone went to full time, but that's very few. We, for majority of the people like us, follow what you are doing, continue doing, but purify yourself. If you are doing some simple activity, stop. If you are doing, so say for example, non-vegetarian eating or drinking wine, all those four regulative principles you follow. That is to purify yourself. Keep chanting. Like that. There are do's and don'ts. Follow that. Mold your life, readjust your life in such a way that you are able to follow the spiritual devotion. You are in satsang. You are always in the association of devotee. Then your life is successful. Rest will be taken care. Don't worry. Just follow the process. Don't worry too much on material spiritual life. It is there material only, but we are spiritual living entity. You follow the change your consciousness. Everything becomes spiritual slowly. Okay, so there is no difference. But we should make a technical difference. Yes, this is not a world where I would want to be. I want to go to spiritual world. This is a process.
Yes.
But this is how it is. Okay, so
Yes.
this is what it is, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare Krishna. Okay, so if there are no further questions and comments, we'll like to stop here. And thanks once again for taking your time from the busy morning. It's a working day. So thanks again, and we'll close the session. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. We are closing the session. Thanks once again. Hare Krishna.